Round 3 of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Dueling Network Rogue Tournament. We have Chaos Dragons against Cyber Dragon OTK. Luke Quincy up first. Cyber Dragons, Tom decided to go second. Luke allures, makes a Lila, knows some stuff. Tom returns with a core. Pretty good opening hand. Well, I mean, thought about the hand, but it's a good opening regardless. Core is a pretty good one. You get to repair plant. Just gonna let him recycle his Cyber Dragons later on. He upstarts for 2, sets and passes. Card Trooper comes down from Luke. Gonna fill up that graveyard. He hits the BLS and the Wyvern. He's gonna banish Red MD at this point. Now, this is an interesting matchup because they're both sort of OTK oriented decks. I would argue that perhaps Chaos Dragons have a little bit more of a better grind game. But anyway, Chaos Sorcerer comes down, he banishes that core, which is pretty critical because core in the graveyard means that his repair plant in his hand is dead. He can't use core's effect in the graveyard to bring out Cyber Dragon from the deck. So he's in a really good spot here. He's getting those mills off, filling up that graveyard with lights and darks, trying to hit that malicious to go for some OTKs. And yeah, it seems like it's a much better start for Luke. Tom's kind of in a bad spot. He's locked under Reckless, assuming he can't do anything with the cards in his hand. Then that's going to be pretty crap. The idea here is that he just wants to draw into these combo pieces, get that power bond, get the materials, and attack for like 12,000 damage or however much Cyber Twin can put out. So Luke's just taking his time here to think about his plays. Oh wait, no, Tom is actually. Yeah, so he specials Cyber Dragon, Instant Fusion for Panzer Dragon. And a little bit of a slow start means he's not going to be OTKing, instead he's going to be relying on those rank 5 plays. Particularly Pleiades, which I would argue is okay against what's it called? Chaos Dragons, because they have to spend resources to get monsters out. I think only Light Pulsar would be big enough to crash into Pleiades. Main phase 2, Pleiades bounces Card Trooper, which gets a Ghost Ogre. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't think that was probably ideal. I think that maybe bouncing the Card Trooper wasn't really the best thing to do. But anyway, he's got the repair plant, and he searches out core. Excuse me. Brings out core, core for another repair plant. He isn't playing Cyber Network. Card's a bit crap. It's very slow, and doesn't really do much. You can't even use your battle phase when it triggers to special summon all your banished Cyber Dragons. So this is why I question the Pleiades bounce, because all he does is just summon Trooper again and then mill more, and then, I don't know, it just didn't seem kind of underwhelming, I think. Now he doesn't have much else to do apart from beat over that core with the Card Trooper. End phase, get a few more mills. He's pretty much milled like 3/4 of his deck at this point, so I'd be kind of worried because he's milled a lot of his deck and he still hasn't really managed to push for Grim. But I think maybe he's trying to play a little bit conservatively because he knows that Tom's running triple Threatening Roar. Because obviously Threatening Roar helps him dig into his combo pieces, buys him some time. So maybe that's why he's not overextending. The players have seen each other's deck lists, so Luke knows about the Threatening Roar, he knows about potential blowouts like Dark Hole. So overextending and then not getting game off of a Threatening Roar could be pretty detrimental. But anyway, core is used from the graveyard, specials out Cyber Dragon from deck, repair plant for dry. Dry's effect makes all machines on the, I think all Cyber Dragons on the field level 5, but you can't make, you can't special summon anything else for the rest of the turn apart from machines. So the problem here is that it can't really make anything useful apart from, well, Cyber Dragon Nova. Instead he chooses to contact fuse into Chimera Tech with the Card Trooper. This is a pretty good play. Doesn't let him get the draw, and he gets a free 2k monster pretty much. But Luke's going in right now. This is a pretty big push he puts in. Decides that the Threatening Roar is probably not set at this point. So Pulsar special from the grave. Malicious comes down. M7 brings out Chaos Sorcerer from his hand. He makes Gaia Dragon to banish it to special red. Red Eyes brings out Light Pulsar. He specials Chaos Sorcerer effect. And at this point, I think he's just going to be looping those Chaos Sorcerers, clearing the field, and then going for game. That's the idea anyway. Uses another Malicious, make another M7. M7 adds back Chaos Sorcerer, do the exact same thing again. And it's really useful because he's banishing his Cyber Dragons, so it means that it's not that important because the only one you really want to banish is Core. It doesn't matter really if the other ones get banished. He's got a graveyard anyway, so it doesn't exactly switch off his repair plant. So at this point, Tom's probably really hoping that that's a set Threatening Roar because, well, otherwise it's game. And yep, it's game. He didn't have the Threatening Roar, so. Starting off back for game 2, we have Luke with the Curry Bandit Mill. I didn't check what he had at hand. Anyway, Tom chose to go second. Probably the best choice for the combo deck. It's not like he has any back row to fear. He summons Core, which gets Veilered. Pretty important, I'd say. Change Threatening Roar to the Galaxy Cyclone. Surprised to see that Luke didn't side those out. But in all fairness, he probably didn't have much to side in anyway. I think most of his extra deck is side deck is tailored towards like back row hate and stuff. So putting in more back row hate for back row hate would really make sense. Anyway, Dry comes down and makes Zenmayo, and Zenmayo's effect is gonna. Oh, he pops his own Mirror Force. Okay, I thought Zenmayo was up to 2. It was interesting. I don't know. Well, he gets the draw from the Card Trooper anyway. Yeah, it would have. It was quite interesting. He could have got some mills out of that, but at the same time, probably didn't want him to contact use. Now he's got the Power Bond, and he does play Gores. Luke is playing double Gores, so I think he might be considering which monster to drop out. No, he doesn't have it. Yeah, that's another problem the Cyber Dragon deck's going to be facing. He needs to deal with the Gores in the hand. It's pretty much I don't think he can win through a Gores if he has it. Power Bond is a little bit of a win condition. Well, a little bit. I'd say it is the win condition. Despite game 1 being a little bit slow and grindy, it kind of shows that this deck needs the combo pieces and needs to OTK because that's really all it can do. Like Pleiades is cool and stuff, but I'd say it's a little bit past its time. So the Core comes down for game 3, and Repair Plant added. Ooh, Machine Dupe. So that's pretty cool. Gotta be wondering perhaps if he has Power Bomb, maybe he should have saved it. But I think Pleiades is a pretty safe turn 1 play against the Chaos Dragons going first. I mean, there isn't really much Luke can do. Like, he can summon something and then it will just get bounced, and then he doesn't get any mills, he gets no values out of it. However, he does have the Ghost Ogre for the Pleiades. A Ghost Ogre doesn't negate, but it does destroy, which I guess is the most important part here. Dry uses effect to make all the Cyber Dragons on the field level 3. I think he used the effect. Yeah, he did, and he gets Veilered, so he doesn't want him making another Pleiades. Well, actually, he can't make Pleiades anyway. I don't know. I think maybe he could have let that go through because the only thing he can make would be like Cyber Dragons, Machinima type monsters, and Zenmayo is obviously not very good. And then he has Cyber Dragon Nova, but I guess maybe he doesn't want to deal with Nova, as I don't think his deck has any ways to like get. I mean, he has like Banish and stuff, I guess, but it's assuming he has Chaos Sorcerer in his hand. There's multiple different things he could have done there. Probably the best play. Card Trooper comes down, attacks over Dry. I think that's better than attacking over Core. He doesn't want to risk like field getting cleared of or something like that. Letting him use Core in the graveyard. Core is really, really good in the graveyard. It's a very versatile card. When it's on summon, it adds a Cyber spell. In the graveyard, it gets specials any Cyber Dragon from the deck. So pretty good card. Unfortunately, the deck is still not very good because, well, it doesn't really have any way to like get into the Power Bond and Fusion plays quickly enough. But anyway, he chooses to Contact Fuse into Chimera Tech with the Core. Yeah, he just probably doesn't want him to get that +1 from that Card Trooper. Puts his Core in the graveyard, guarantees it's in the graveyard, so he's got follow-ups for when Chimera Tech inevitably gets outed. So let's see what Luke can do here. Oh, he's gonna Curry Bandit. Use his effect. He's gonna mill Gores, Pulsar, Allure, I think that was, and recharge. Yeah, he takes the Allure. End phase, Reckless Greed, so I think he's like gotten +1 out of that at this point. You gotta be wondering, Luke's really low on life here. Kinda gotta wonder if that Curry Bandit was the correct play if he doesn't have any protection, because Cyber Dragons can put out a lot of damage. So I guess it would be kind of irrelevant if he set anything anyway. I guess he would lose regardless. His only real protection from the Cyber Twin OTK would be like Gores. But even then it's like, it still hits him for enough, like it's like 56 damage in one hit, so Gores he'd be dead before Gores could even like be useful. Anyway, he's gonna go in here. Specials at the Pulsar, the Malicious from the graveyard. Probably gonna see some rank 6 plays. That's pretty cool because the rank 6 plays lets him he lets us mill his deck, which kind of lets it become his second hand almost, because, well, now he can M7 and then M7 adds back anything he wants, so he opens himself up to a lot of different options. And I don't know if he's gonna extend here, but like he's got so many things he could add back. He could add back like the Ghost Ogre, he could add back a Lightsworn for normal summon and do some milling and stuff. I think that's what he actually does. I can't remember. It takes a while to consider his options here. You gotta understand that Threatening Roar is an extremely big threat because, well, he can extend and then like get Threatening Roared, and then he's got a good board presence. But I think Cyber Dragons can kind of deal with it. Just like can make like a rank 5 that will like put in a lot of work. Anyway, he allures banishing the Kuru Bandit. Galaxy Cyclones that Threatening Roar. So he did have it set after all, but he's just going to go in with another M7 here. And I think at this time he just like sets up for next turn. Yeah, he adds back Ghost Ogre, so he's just trying to like protect himself for next turn. You could argue that maybe that should have been put into head defense just in case. But he has Dark Hole, he has the Repair Plant, and then it's just a simple case of attack with Dry for game exactly. So that was a pretty cool game. I enjoyed that. Very, very different and interesting decks. Let me know what you guys think in the description if there's any different matchups you'd like to see in this Rogue tournament. So see you next time.